Justin Robert Young program brought to you, as always, by PayJuryDaily.com. You want to support the show? You want to kick in a little bit? Huh? PayJuryDaily.com. Head there. Right? Sounds like a good idea. Welcome, friends. Welcome to the Justin Robert Young podcast for August 29th, 2018. Welcome. Come on. Bring it in. We got a lot to talk about. Big show today. First, a follow-up to yesterday's show. I'm still in. All right. Yesterday's show. I said there's a dude at my gym who looks like a thick Drake. All right? Looks like a thick Drake. Yesterday, I saw a picture of Drake as he looks currently. I am now just saying that the dude at my gym looks like Drake. Drake kind of got a little thicker. There's a lot of draping fashion for Drake these days. He is a lot of solid blacks, a lot of draping. That's all I'm saying. Drake's a little thick. So the dude at my gym does not look like a thick Drake. He just looks like Drake. All right? That's my correction. The JuRY Daily Show regrets the error. We got an email from Ken that we're going to talk about here in the main part of the show because I think there's a lot that goes into it. Ken writes, I have the spirit of a 90s style goatee ever since I started dating my now wife. My wife loves the goatee and strongly suggests that I keep it. However, I've always dreamed of a full, luscious beard. Throughout our marriage, I've threatened to go on what I call the full lumberjack. This entails a full, luscious beard, plaid flannel shirts, and a plain gray toque. Toque, for non-Canadians or hockey fans, is just that stretchy kind of woolen cap with maybe the little pom-pom on top. It's not a huge stretch since I live in the Great White North where toques and flannel shirts run wild and free. I feel this look complements my hefty physique. Also, as an aspiring stand-up comedian, I feel it wouldn't hurt to establish a personal brand. During my vacation, I seized the opportunity to metamorphosize. However, my wife hates the beard. She says it looks like pubes, and I'll admit around the cheeks it's a little bit more patchy and curly than I'd like. Furthermore, she says my head looks like a penis in a toque, so between the phallic hat and the pube chin, I look like a literal dickhead. What do you think? Should I ignore my brutally frank wife and pursue my dream, or listen to her and see myself for the schlubby dickhead that I am? Also, being a man with an enviable beard, do you have any tips or advice when it comes to growing and grooming such a masterpiece? I'm gonna be honest with you, Chief. I'm gonna be real with you, Chief. There's only so much that LeBron James can teach somebody on a pickup basketball court on how to be a good basketball player. Yeah, there's time, effort, sacrifice, but at the end of the day, some people kind of have the talent and some people don't. The vast majority of the reason why I have a luxurious, amazing beard, which I will now show off for our viewers here on youtube.com/Justin Robert Young. Pause for 5 seconds. The reason why I have this is largely because of genetics. I just got it. I come from hairy, from hairstute stock. It comes as part of the swarthy kit that I was given at birth. It was just, a little on my D&D character sheet of life. I just get +5 beard. Them's the breaks. There are a few things that you can do to maintain a good beard. Mostly moisturizing helps, beard oil helps, conditioning helps. But to be totally honest, I don't want to talk about that. What I want to talk about is this situation between you and your wife. Because what I want you to understand here, man, is that this is not just your wife trying to be a dream crusher. A lot of this is not only even your wife's personal opinion. A lot of times a significant other, be they, wives, girlfriends, boyfriends, husbands, they are a representative. They are your closest emissary of what the rest of the world won't tell you. So if she thinks you look like shit with a patchy-ass beard, wearing nothing but the uniform of a toque and a flannel, then I would at least 50-50 say, hey, you want to know what? Maybe this isn't about her saying, I'd prefer to fuck you looking like this, or I find you more attractive looking like this, and more like, man, I understand how the rest of the world looks at you more than you understand how the rest of the world looks at you, and maybe this is indeed just a bad look. So let me give you a pathway forward. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to your wife and say, hey, congratulations. You are now my personal stylist. And I'm willing to go where you want to go. But as my personal stylist, I want you to work with me, and I want to work with you. So here are the non-negotiables from my side. I want to have some kind of a beard to kind of round out my chin and maybe hide other chins. And I don't want to go back to the goatee. I wore the goatee my entire life. I literally just need a change of style. Everything else, fashion, haircut, everything else is negotiable. I'm going to lean a little bit more rustic. I might lean toward a hat, but I'm willing to negotiate that with you because what you want is a costume. And look, if you want to be Larry the Lumberjack as a stand-up, if you want to be a lumberjack character as a stand-up, if you want to be Cutter Down, then yeah, you need a costume for that as a stand-up. But that's a costume that you wear as a stand-up. That's not your life. And also, if you're trying to distinguish yourself as a stand-up in Canada and literally everybody else is running around in flannel shirts and gray toques, then why are you going to get in uniform? That would seem to be the opposite of what you would want to do if you wanted to stand out. So work with your wife. Your wife is a resource. Your wife is a window into how others will look at you. If you get into this, my wife wants this, but I want this, you're totally ignoring the benefits of this. Now, for example, my wife in general is fairly permissive about my look. But then again, I think I got a pretty decent look. There are times that she really fucking hates shit I do. Like when I shaved in a mustache for a summer. She thought it looked like garbage. But the difference was I agreed with her. And literally I was just shaving in the mustache because I wanted people to talk about the fact that I had an ugly ass mustache because I was trying to plug a Kickstarter. So there are looks to get attention and then there's looks to look good. It seems like you kind of want to do both, which is fine. Look good, feel good, produce good shit. I believe in all that. I think that there's a lot of self-confidence to be had there. But use your wife as a resource. This goes for all you motherfuckers. Stop looking at this shit so adversarially. Stop looking at everybody that has criticism for you as a dream crusher. This is a big problem for me. I don't take these kind of things well. A lot of times I have this problem where I'll polish up my little dream and I'll think about my dream so much and I won't never tell anybody. Shh, it's a secret. It's a secret dream. Shh. And I'll polish it up and I'll polish it up and I'll do a little work on it and then I'll take 2 steps back and then I'll do a little work on it and then I'll get all my little perfect dream all perfected and then I'll bring it to somebody that I love and I'll say, what do you think? And they'll say, why is it like this? And I'll say, no, you wounded me. Don't you know how hard I worked? Which is, of course, no. They have no idea. They don't know what you've attached to this inside your own head. You just brought them what they thought was a first draft and you thought was a final product. When you're working with somebody that is as close to you, like your wife, if you're going on a journey, then you got to include from an earlier stage. So instead of saying, I want to be a full lumberjack, look, if you want to be a full lumberjack on stage, be a full lumberjack on stage, because that's a different story. But if you're looking for a personal look and anything in general, it helps if you make very clear, hey, I trust your opinion. This is an idea I have going forward. Point out to me where things are good and bad. All right, let's go ahead and get into your emails. JuRyDaily@gmail.com. Again, JuRyDaily@gmail.com. Zach writes, I'm a 20-year-old male. Okay, so we asked about lookalikes. I mentioned the Drake guy at my gym. I want to know who you guys look like, whether or not you get, oh, do you know you look like blank? And then whether or not you intentionally steer into or away from that. Because this Drake dude at the gym, who's now not thick Drake, he's just Drake. Again, the JuRY Daily podcast regrets the error. That motherfucker's wearing OVO shirts. So he is steering into the fact that he kind of looks like Drake. Zach writes, I'm a 20-year-old male who looks like Post Malone. I have a similar face, and when my beard is unkempt, it looks like his beard. My hair is also long and brown like his. People tell me that I look like Post Malone about 5 times a week. I usually just laugh hysterically because it seems so funny at the time. Hopefully this email makes sense. I've been popping pillies and feeling like a rock star. Zach, you might actually be Post Malone. If symptoms persist for more than 5 hours, you may indeed be Post Malone. Please consult a doctor. Brandon writes in descending order, I get Questlove, W. Camus Bell, and Reggie Watts. Having seen Brandon in person, motherfucker, you look like Questlove, W. Camus Bell, and Reggie Watts. You have the same build, and you got an afro. I didn't realize until after you sent in your email that this probably gets us into troubling racial waters. But now I realize that. So thank you very much, Brandon. But here's my question to you. Knowing that you like to rock an afro, do you have to understand when you're like, no, I'm going to be that dude with an afro. I love my afro. I'm going to rock it. It's a great looking afro. And I've seen your afro. Looks fucking good. Plus afro. Like, do you do it with the understanding that I'm going to get Questlove, W. Camus Bell, Reggie Watts comparisons? Because I would assume you have to, but I want to hear it from the horse's mouth. So email back in. Alex writes, I get told about once a week that I look like a few celebrities. If it helps, I'm half white and half Asian, landing somewhere between Keanu Reeves, Daniel Day-Lewis, Justin Long, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt. It can be flattering, and I'd be lying to say that I haven't taken advantage of it, but my genetic makeup requires little effort on my part and frequency of hearing the same compliment that everyone is tiresome and has lost its sincerity. Whenever somebody asks, do you know who you look like? I just respond with, yes, thank you. Because of this, however, I make a point to avoid complimenting comparing the appearances of other lookalikes. And instead, I just try to remark upon any other quality that makes that person truly unique. Because I know that all I ever really want is to be recognized and appreciated for who I am. All right, well, Alex, so that it sounds like you want to be steering away from it. Like you should be dressing in a way that Keanu Reeves, Daniel Day-Lewis, Justin Long, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt never dress. I don't know what that would be. Maybe a raver? Jinko jeans? I'm going to suggest that you wear Jinko jeans. Adam from YouTube writes, I get Christian Slater a lot. Once I grew a beard and people stopped saying it, but I was never really trying to swim against the tide. This is the kind of shit I want. If you look like somebody, did you take efforts to not look like them? And if you didn't look, or if you did find yourself looking like somebody, did you wind up looking at pictures of them in magazines and being like, ah, shit, I should buy that shirt. Now I know that shirt looks good. I know that shit compliments my face and body type because it looked good on him. I'm getting free Hollywood fashion advice if I look at these motherfuckers in public in big glamorous settings and say, yeah, I want to do shit like that. Here's a little follow-up for me. One time I told a girl in college that she looked like Jenna Bush. Now, meanwhile, this is in the aughts, right? Early aughts. This is when I'm in school. I told a lady that she looked like Jenna Bush, and she cried. I don't know why that came to my mind, but it did. Stinky Pete from YouTube wrote about I'm trying to get this new phrase off the ground. I got a wild hair up my ass, and I'm trying to dance it out. This is my new phrase for whenever you get like a sudden passion and you're like, hey, why are you doing this? I'm like, I got a wild hair up my ass. I'm trying to dance it out. This is my new phrase I'm trying to get off the ground. Stinky Pete from YouTube writes in, how about he's got a stick up his ass but is rubbing his cheeks together to see if it will catch fire? See, I don't think that I don't think it's a substitute for mine, because wild hair up the ass and stick up the ass mean two totally different things. Nor do I really know what that means if he's got a stick up his ass, but he's rubbing his cheeks together to see if it'll catch fire. I don't know. I don't know what that means. I mean, I do know that there's one thing that we can do here on this show. And that's a weekly roundup of anonymously submitted bon mots from the highest peaks of our listenership. Folks, if you ever find yourself in a situation where you got a thought that can't help but introduce itself to the world, then, ladies and gentlemen, you might indeed be sending that thought to jurydaily@gmail.com for inclusion in
Welcome to High Thoughts. Please prepare yourself. Does my reflection think I'm
his reflection?
If we have high thoughts every week, does that mean that we all have
By thoughts too?
the nerd number times 10 equals
The weed number. The weed
high thought if JuRY stopped reading?
High thoughts.
Imagine how unpopular he would have been had he chosen Dwayne the Pebble Johnson. Dwayne the Pebble Johnson. Dwayne the Pebble Johnson. Dwayne the Pebble
Johnson.
Of course, folks, you can send in your high thoughts to jurydaily@gmail.com. Make sure you put high thoughts, H-I, comma, thoughts, in the subject line. All high thought submissions are anonymous. Our producers for this show are the Jen, BD Rave, Non-Specific, Rock and Roll Martian, Joe Acosta, and Woo! You can email me, jurydaily@gmail.com, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, @JustinRYoung, hashtag join the conversation, @diamondclub.reddit.com. Folks, please give Mr. Wacky a round of applause. But more importantly, please don't go!
Do you like the way you're dressed up? Do you like how your hair gets cut?
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.